Okay, I think we're up and running. So, welcome in everyone to ALR Tier 2 Blue Round 2, Season 20. We're at Tokyo South this week. Hello Jack, welcome. Where are you? Down in 8th. Not quite as good as... actually down with your teammate as well. Citroen, not a great handling car. Welcome Spin. So let's have a quick look through the grid. We've got some different faces up front because we've got Kling up front in the AMG on pole. Badabig was up front last week in the Renault. Quite impressive to be there this week. It's surprisingly good. I think the MR cars have got a little bit of a buff on the high speed update, so they're a little bit better now, more competitive, but still a good performance in second in the Renault because it is not great on the straights. Then we've got McLaren Alvarukis in third. Kind of similar story to last season. Last week he was fast, but had a few incidents, was definitely getting his elbows out, stuck in with everyone. Pyro up in fourth again. I'm sure he was this high last week, which is just kind of ridiculous how much of a difference it's been this season compared to last. We've got Astro, who did well last week in fifth in the Jaguar. Also in the Viper. It's going to be a bit of a mixed bag because it's really bad through the corners, but it's really good on the straight, so it kind of equals itself out. Going to get a great launch again, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Taz in seventh in the Audi. Again, good on the straights, good handling, should be good around here. It's close to rivaling the Porsche for bad starts though, and he's got two Citroens right behind him in Jack and Harry, so that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Harry down in ninth. After getting the double win last week, he's got himself a bit of a buffer if this isn't a great check for the Citroen. But he'll hoping to make his way forward from there, and given how good it is off the line, he probably will. Prime call in the second McLaren down in 10th. McLaren should be solid around this track, good at high speed, a little bit understeery, but you should be able to manage it in the medium and high speed stuff. The hairpin and the dock section early on in the lap might be where it struggles. Porsche in 11th and 12th, so slightly better than last week. Really bad starts again, though. They're probably going to be, with the Viper and Jag behind, they're going to be last into turn one again, which is unfortunate, but that's the kind of the price you pay for going with the Porsche. So they're going to have to make some moves in the sprint race to get into the top 10 for the reverse grid. Ross down in 13th, who I know got impeded on what would have been his fastest lap, so we're not sure what kind of pace Ross has got. And then we've got Musa in the Viper in 14th. Again, ridiculous starts. Probably going to be two moves on the Porsches at least to turn one. But we'll have to see if you can make any more progress from there. So let's go back. Let's get a full 5 lights build-up experience. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we have a long hold and we're away. Look like Pyro got a good launch there. And he's coming alongside Badabig. Badabig going to the inside immediately. Pyro's ahead, but he's on the outside. Really going to depend how committed he wants to be. Both get through there cleanly. Is his teammate giving him some slipstream? Hopefully, yes he is. Nice team play there from Kling, although he's moved back to the racing line. Pyro's probably begging him to move over to the inside, but Pyro's got this position on the inside at the moment. Oh, super late on the brakes. Can Badabik nip back up the inside? He gets a little bit of contact from Marukis. That's going to cost Pyro a couple of positions there. But Pyro's still right on the back of everyone in fourth. Also, actually didn't even manage to make up a position in fifth, which is a little bit surprising. We'll see how much of this advantage is going to be on the straights. The AMG in front is no slouch either, so it'll be interesting to see if he can close in and how much. Klinger's starting to pull a little bit of a gap at the front. Badabig is going to be coming under threat from Marukis pretty quickly. Marukis right behind him now. He's been forced to the outside. He's going to be all the way through by the time they get to the braking zone. Doesn't look like he's going to have to hold it around the outside. Can't quite manage it. Ooh, but Kling's gone a little bit wide. Ooh, Naruki's getting a little bit forced into the barrier there. Hard to judge on the exit sometimes. Also didn't manage to get past Pyro. Did close up a little bit, but didn't manage to get past. And then behind this we've got Astro, who also didn't really gain any places. And then we've got both the Citroens who have gained a position on Taz. Not particularly surprisingly, Jack in front of Harry. Ross already up into 10th. We thought those guys the Porsches would lose positions off the start, and they definitely have. Turboboy's still in 11th though, so he's made a couple of those positions back, and Arfak side is already off the back. Doesn't have damage at the moment, so that whatever happened must have happened a while ago, because I'm assuming that's all it can really have been. Then we've got Moose going around the outside of Turbo Boy, managed to get the move done. Let's go back up to the front. We've got Badabig. Looked like he got a better run through turn 1, but he just doesn't quite have the legs on the AMG. Has to pull back into the slipstream. Klingham moving defensively. Is Badabig going to send it to the inside? No, pulls back to the outside. Super late on the brakes. He's gone completely off track. That's probably going to cost him position to Arukis. Pyro's got his nose stuck in there as well. But has to back out in the end, and Badabig holds on to third, but he does lose the position to Arukis. Now Arukis, someone in this group has got to start working together with someone and just try and break everybody. Can do the fighting on the last lap. No, Arukis. It's risky going for that because he's stuck side by side, and Badabig and Pyro are just closing in massively with the slipstream. Look like a little bit of contact, hard to go through there side by side. Badabig surely going to go to the inside here. Looks for it but can't quite get it done. Gets it pulled down to the apex nicely, gets past Kling though. Actually both Pyro and Badabig have got past Kling, so Kling down to 4th now. Then we've got Auto. Astro's lost a couple of positions, down into 8th. It's not that bad, you're still with the lead group for now. You've got your teammate in front of you. Although he does look like he just went into the wall, which is not helpful. It looks like that's given Badabig and Arukis, and Badabig's immediately going for the move. Well, man, he must have got such a better exit because he's already got the move done. But the AMGs behind should be able to work together and close this gap back up. If Arukis is smart, he's just going to try and push Badabig for a couple of laps. Try and get away from the AMGs. Guarantees you a top 2 if you just work together. Because that gap is starting to build now. Ooh, Klinger's looking for the move. If the AMGs don't work together, that kind of throws the whole original plan out the window for Arukis. Slightly different lines through the stock section for the AMGs. Pyro going a little bit wider. As long as you cut it back to the late apex, you can kind of take whatever line you want through there. So we've got Jack up into 5th. So Jack's made good progress from qualifying in 8th or 9th. I think it was 8th. So he made up three places. He's got past the Viper, which I imagine wouldn't have been particularly easy. And now he's onto the back of Kling. Is Kling going for the move, or is he just going defensive? He's going to force Jack to the outside. Pyro's going to cover that off, so it's going to make it difficult for Jack to get this move done. Although, can he follow Kling through on the inside? Not quite. Now, Pyro, I think, is always talking about teamwork and bump drafting. Is this going to be his opportunity to do that with his teammate? Klinger was faster in qualifying, so maybe they do want the faster driver out in front. Then Arukis just going into the wall a little bit. Not enough for damage. Still gets good runs, still got the slipstream, but they have definitely not broken the pack behind. And Pyro is really coming under threat from Jack. Jack being forced to the outside. Going to compromise Pyro's line through this corner. Slightly. Still right there behind him. But once he's right behind him, all he can really do, he just does pull out. Pyro shuts that door immediately. Not sure if there's any real contact there. But everybody's still super close together. Arukis has made the move for the lead. So nobody wants to work together. This is just a fight to the end. Otherwise they would have started working together a while ago. because it is difficult to break the slipstream on your own. Barukis is going to try, because Badabig doesn't look like he's up for helping. Klinger's now back onto the back of Badabig. Ooh, got the auto going for a move in the tunnel. Oh, there's some contact there. Is that damage for Jack? Oh, it is. That's going to cost him a lot. He's also trying to give that position back. He is, but he's kind of made a mess of it. Jack is down to 7th with his teammate just behind him. Still got that damage. Is Jack going to be able to get the move back on at Astro? He is, but with damage, he needs to be fully ahead to keep this position, I think. But the damage is fixed now. He might be able to just hold this with the inside. Ooh, there was a little bit of contact, but Astro does manage to hold it. We've got Ross behind up in 9th. Auto's down to 10th after that. I think that was Musa in 11th. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look down here. We've got Prime Call in 12th, Turbo Boy, and then Avax still off the back of the group. Badabig just making Arukis cover the inside a little bit. Top 4 getting a bit of a breakaway now. That's big. Got Taz in 5th. Pretty sure he's out of the slipstream. But the front 4 are nose to tail. Badabig pulls out to the outside. That's going to be... Oh, don't go 4 wide. No. Okay, Kling backs out of that one. Power trying to cut underneath everybody. Looks like Kling has managed to gain back into the lead. Back into P2. It's been good racing so far. Only some minor incidents. Oh, there's Pyro in the wall maybe. What's the speed like? Same as Taz behind, so that... Yeah, and Taz going to be in the slipstream now. That's not good news for Pyro. Is he going to go for the move? Oh, this is risky. No, I think he backs out of that. Now he tries to pull to the inside. Did he get there? Not quite. Can't go for it. Badabig sending it down the outside. He's going to go for a switch back on the exit. Tries for it. Oh, and a little bit of contact with Klinger into the wall. That's going to allow Badabig through. Or is it? Oh, they're still side by side. No, Badabig just ahead. It's giving Arukis a small lead. Got Pyro and Taz were going side by side through there, but not quite. Small graze of the wall for Kling. How's the tyres looking? Better on the McLaren and the Renault than the AMG. Not quite enough to make a difference. Maybe on the last lap it'll just drop below 50%. Maybe. So is Kling going to work with Badabig to close the gap back to Arukis? Because he's got a small lead. Not enough to be out of slipstream, but enough that he doesn't have to defend. Now we've got both the Jaguars moving up in the back in 6th and, well, Jack's just got back past Ross for 7th. It just looks like everything's just sort of settled down a little bit for now. Astro's with the top group as well. Then there's the gap back to Jack, so he's at the front of the fight for P7. Who's close enough to go for a move? We're going to stick with Taz and Pyro because Taz looks like he's really close to Pyro. Definitely going to be getting the biggest effects from the slipstream. Not choosing to go for a move in the tunnel on the flat out part of the track, which is a good idea. Late move to the inside. Has to back out of it. Maybe he was a little bit too late on the brakes, so he's gone wide. It allows Astro to close up. Ooh, there's a big slide for Pyro. Is that going to be enough for Taz to look for a move? Not quite. Does close back up, but he's not enough to go for a move. Gap staying pretty similar between the top 3. Badabig not quite able to close up to Arukis. Just holding that gap as it is. Astro's currently got the fastest lap with 56.4. And he's now right onto the back of this group. Top three still pretty separated. Is it Astro looking for a move on Taz? It was close, but it didn't look like he was setting it up. Then we've got Ross now up into 7th in front of Harry, who's now got past his teammate Jack. And also still holding on to 10th. And Musa, Turbo and Prime Call, they're sort of closing in. Only 2 laps to go. They're going to struggle to really make any progress towards the top 10 in that time, I think. Taz has just managed to get the move done on Pyro. Astro, is Astro going to be able to get the move done as well? Around the outside. Leaves in space. Oh, that's very wide from Astro. Not sure was there any contact. Didn't get damage. Not sure if there was any contact there, but Astro was super wide in that corner. Left Pyro all the space in the world on the inside. So, is Klinger going to go for the move on Bada Big? They've not been able to close the gaps to the leader. Not fully. They're just using the slipstream to hold the gap for now. But his tyres have just barely dropped below 50%. Bada Big's still good. Is that going to make a difference? Might make it slightly hard for Klinger to get the move done. And he's going to come under pressure from Taz now. It's not his teammate behind him anymore. Why is there more? Is there more chaos in the feature, Jack? I mean, I've seen a couple of the incidents, so I know there's some coming. But the top 4 now split apart, so I think it's safe to say it's one of these 4 for the win, pending penalties. It looked like a good exit. No, none of the top 4 really nailing that corner. There's a lot of space on the exit. Maybe there's a Harry Bottles drop. We'll keep an eye out for that. But interesting to see what strategies people go for in that. Taz going to the outside. Looked like he was close to Klinger hugging the inside. The rookies look like he's got this. Tyres are actually slightly, well, they're pretty much identical to Bada Big. Bada Big's going to need an absolute worldie of an exit here to get onto the back of Arukis. It looked like he got a good one, but I don't think that's close enough. I would say the McLaren is usually better on the straights. He has managed to drop Kling though, that's big. Not going to come under pressure, for now at least, into the hairpin. Klinger is going to come under pressure from Taz. Been forced to the outside. Oh, and that's a big misjudgment from Klinger. Hasn't really cost... Oh no. That one did. The first one didn't really cost anyone anything, but that has cost him something. He's down to 8th. Is he going to recover in the top 10? He's got damage, and he's got cars coming past him really quickly. Still in 10th. Down to 11th. Oh, a little bit of contact, but I think he's going to lose that position as well. Down to 11th, that is the worst place he could be. But up at the front, Arukis did manage to get away in the end after that little bump from Klinger. Gets the win, Bada Big gets 2nd, Taz gets the podium in 3rd. Pyro's just going to hold on to 4th. In front of Astro in 5th. Ross makes his way up to 6th from 13th. Also back up to 7th. Citroen's ended up dropping down to 8th and 9th. Good positions for the feature, and Moose is going to be on pole. Kling actually lost another position. We did see that he did still add some damage. Let's just go see what the end positions were. Yeah, to the end. Okay. And that'll do. Alright, where did everybody shake out? So we got Prime Colin 11th. That looked like it was a close one, maybe? No, it's actually Klinger's close with Turbo Boy, so Turbo Boy almost managed to get P12 on the line. And Arfaxad, after getting dropped super early from some kind of incident on that one, makes it back to 14th and pretty close to the pack. But unfortunately, that's not really worth anything, getting close to the pack. But it doesn't have to deal with the standing starts in the feature race, at least. I think positive, at least. So let's get the feature race going. It's going to be some chaos. We've got to watch out for a Harry bottle job, and we've got to look out for people doing different strategies. Because two-stop, short pit lane, it is actually an option. I think technically it's slower. But if you can get a lot of clean air to make the pace work, two-stop will work. So, no. Yeah, there we go. So, got Musa on pole position on the softs. It's a bold decision. If I was going to go softs, it would be from the front here. Jack's probably going to be hoping that he can stick with Musa. Even though he's on the mediums, that probably makes the cornering performance quite similar, given how bad the Viper is. Harry and Jack going on the same strategy, both on the mediums. Auto's going on the mediums as well. I can see the Viper going for the two-stop. Potentially. Because it's probably got the fuels to go for the one-stop. Because you can do quite a lot of short shifting in the Viper, but... is it that bad? He did well last week. To be fair, there was a few moments in last season as well. But starting third. Okay, so Ross is the first driver on the hards. His teammate on the hards as well. Everybody... I think that's everybody. Arfax are going on the mediums. Again, that's an interesting choice. Starting last and going on the medium tyres. Maybe he just wants to try something different. If you do the same thing as everyone else, you might not make any progress. But everybody from P5 down is on the hard tyres, which apart from Arfaxad. So 5th to 13th, I'm pretty sure are going for the one-stop. Top 4, we'll have to wait and see when they come in. Moose is definitely going for the two-stop. 100% if he's on soft tyres. That is really his only option. Welcome, Platt. Need to give some of these Porsche drivers some tips on how to get it around this track. Or just in general. After your win in the feature race. So everybody wait in line for very fast cars on the straights up front. 2 Citroens, 2 Vipers. Be interesting to see if they work together, because they could definitely drop Ross on the hard tyres if they work together. Ross looks like the first driver that might be coming under threat, although Jack... Oh, super late on the brakes, super late on the brakes. It's going to cost him position to Auto. Yes, it is, and I think that was Pyro going wide in the background. Going to cost him a load of positions. Yeah, because he's dropped down to 9th already. So Otto and Jack have just sort of bridged that gap back to Ross, so he's not out of slipstream anymore. Say the top 4 are still just about within it. Are the Jaguars going to be working together, because they're very close? I would imagine these two will work together. Because they don't necessarily know that all the drivers behind them are on the same strategy. Taz is having a bit of a fight with Badabig. Taz looked like he grazed the wall, but not enough to let Badabig through. Rukis has got past. Ooh, Pyro's down into 11th now. He's coming under pressure from Prime Car and his teammate. Then we've got Arfaxad trying to make progress. Turbo Boy, no, I thought he dropped a bit further back off. That might just be getting used to the hard tyres. Oh, that's Arfaxad going for a late one on Klinger. I think that was a little bit too ambitious there. I was just a move on Pyro. This has been an awful lap for Pyro. Absolutely awful. He's just getting absolutely bullied every which way. Gets a hit there from Arfaxad. Yeah. I think that was a bit late. That last corner is very inviting to go for a move, but it is very hard because the braking area is so small. Let's jump back to the front. How are we looking? So the front two have actually got a bit of a breakaway now. Musa on the soft tyres makes sense. He's pulling away. Mighty. Oh, Harry. he's probably just about lost that slipstream, or he's going to very soon. Oh, that might do it, going a bit wide there. Let's go on board with Auto, because he looks like he's sort of becoming the front of this train. The top two starting to... Oh, I think it's Harry going the wall. Doesn't have any damage, but he must have made a mistake, because he's now coming under pressure from Auto. As long as Auto times this well, he can get this move done into P2. Then we'll have a Viper 1-2. Dude will be absolutely loving life if that does happen. It doesn't look like Harry's defending it. Auto's gone to the inside. All he needs to do is time his braking right, which he looks like he has done. Although Harry's still there around the outside. But it looks like he's got that move done. And he is up into second, so 1-2 for the Vipers so far. Maybe we should just stop the race now. Leave it a Viper 1-2. We're actually running in pairs. We've got Vipers, we've got Citroens, and then we've got the Jags together. And they're barely dropping Ross on the hard tyres. Ross is going to be quite happy with this as long as he can keep his teammate with him. There's a bit of a backup in case he loses a slip from the cars ahead. Because he's just getting pulled along at the front. First driver on the hard tyres. You can see the big difference in the tyres. Musa is absolutely running through those softs at a rate of knots. I think these guys are all going to start playing nicely together because they're in pairs, in teammates. So Taz going really wide. So we're going to just drop back a little bit lower. Arfaxad. I think we'll probably keep an eye on Arfaxad because he looks like he's going for a lot of moves on the softer tyres. If he gets a good run, he can get himself back onto the back of Kling. But it doesn't look like Kling's actually pretty close to Badabig. Anybody doing any short shifting? Doesn't look like Klinger's doing any. Right onto the back of Badabig. Can he time this well to get to the inside for the hairpin? Not quite. Yeah, they do tend to differ. I'd definitely say the lower tiers tend to go for some more crazy strategies. But I think it's not that similar so far. I think most of the grid are on a one stop, but there are definitely more going for two stops in this than we had in tier 1. I'm not sure anyone in that tier 1 actually went for the 2-stop or committed to it. We all just did different versions of the 1-stop. Ooh, Jaguar teammates not working together. Maybe they're swapping positions. It doesn't look like Ross is giving up the inside. Oh, I think he does there. Or he's just playing it safe. Slots in behind his teammate. Surely the plan has got to be to work together. Oh, Ross into the wall. Didn't get damaged, but that's going to allow Rukas to get even closer onto the back of him. And it looks like we have missed a move from Arfaxad. Ooh, what happened? Krieger going the wall? Maybe? A little bit wide. No, grazed the wall, but he had to really ruin his exit to not go into the wall. That's how Arfaxad got through. Up into 10th on his medium tyres. Completely through. And does manage to hold the position. And Pyro dropping all the way down to 14th is really, really bad for him. Because he was up in, I want to say 6th or 7th at the start of the race. Just sort of really bullied on lap 1. Musa 4 laps into these soft tyres. They might go, well, they probably will go one more. But interesting to see if he pits this lap or not. Maybe he goes 5-5-11 on the mediums at the end. Arto's actually managed to break the Citroens. Both the Citroens still together. We're not sure if these are working together yet. Not sure if Astro and Ross are, because Astro's just got the move done on his teammate. Ooh, I thought he was going super late on the brakes there. He managed to get it stopped. Ooh, and Badabig going for the move on Taz, getting a big slide. Taz getting squeezed towards that wall. And now Afaxad getting involved in this on his softer tyres. Ooh, that was really wide from Afaxad. Doesn't manage to gain the position, so Badabig stays in 9th, Taz still in 8th. But he's immediately right onto the back of Badabig. Tyres still well above 50%, he's still going to be on the better tyres. You'd think after a few laps of fighting that some of these guys would just decide to work together and bump each other. Because they were battling, like Badabig and Taz were battling in the first race. So they must be a similar-ish pace. Just push him forward and take you with him. We've got a Rukis trying to get in between the Jags. Ross has got the inside. Astro was super wide line. I think last time we raced this track, it was a Race of Champions, and Astro was taking a really wide line then as well. So that just might be his line. Which I know you can do. Just it's not my preference. Harry, it looks like he's dropped off of Jack. That's not good for Team Citroen. They're still up high in the grid, but if they're going for a 2-stop, which they might be, they kind of want to be building a gap to the cars behind, and they want to be together to do that. But Arukis was just bumping Jack. Astro moving over to the inside. It's a bit late to be giving in your teammate the slipstream there, but it was a nice effort. But Arukis has gone wide. Gets a better run around the outside. Can he beat the Jaguar on acceleration? Now Astro's giving his teammate the toe. So that's good work there from Astro, keeping his teammate just behind him in 6th, although Ross goes slightly wide. I mean, there was a gap, but that was a late dive into the gap. Let's have another look at this one. You can see Astro giving Ross the toe. Ross is going to be forced to the inside, probably more inside than he needs to be. Outbrakes himself. Yeah, that's just, the gap's not there. And I think he's trying to give the position back just in a ridiculous spot. And now they've lost all the time to Astro. And Badabig and Taz are right on the back of him. I really wish people would think when they decide where they're going to try and give the position back. Like, just make it to the straight and just lift and let him go. You don't have to do it immediately. He's just cost himself like 3 seconds. Luckily, they're still together. Rukas has still got a slipstream from Ross. It's just Ross has lost a load of time to Astro. Is Badabig going to go for a move on Arukis? We know he's not interested in working together. Just wants to get through the pack. Has to sit behind for now. Afaxad going really wide in the background, and that's allowed Kling and maybe Prime call through. No, Afaxad just holding on to it. But he has lost one position to Kling. How's Pyro doing? Pyro up to 13th, but he's not really made any more progress than that. So let's go back to the front of this little group. Musa is still out, so on lap 6, we're definitely coming in this lap. 100% coming in this lap. And he's been closed in massively by his teammate. So Arto's going to take over the lead of the race. Jack staying out. Harry's got half-second penalty. It's not the worst penalty zone, but that is going to cost him more like a second than half a second. And what has happened to Ross? He has lost the position to both of them. Both Arukis and Arukis going for a move in the tunnel. He has not learned from going for a bit of an unusual move. Although that was actually clean, to be fair. So this is just Ross getting bullied out, having to be on the outside there. They did get through there clean. Badabig just gets to the inside of Arukis. Has to pull back in though, but that's cost Ross 2 positions, down to 7th. Now he's going to come under threat from Taz behind. He's not going to go have a go back at Badabig here. She doesn't. So Badabig definitely looks like one of the fastest on the harder tyres. He's been fighting with everyone and he's still made his way through the pack and closed gaps. Arukis has used quite a bit less fuel. So is Arukis now going to just sit behind, save a bit of fuel, try and work together? You'd think somebody would. At some point, somebody's going to have the idea to work together. So what kind of gap has Auto got over the hard runners? 5 seconds maybe? Because Astro's on his own at the moment. Badabig has only just made his way up to 5th, so we'll have to wait a couple of laps to see if he can break the gap to the train behind. There's the gap from Badabig to Arukis. Close enough for him to get there by the hairpin. And he's got Ross behind, who's going to be coming just as fast with a double slipstream. So Arukis right onto the back of Badabig now. Goes to the outside, so he's not working together. And then Ross absolutely sending it to the inside, but it's going to be too deep. Maybe he can get one on the exit. If he gets a slipstream from Badabig, this could be a move for Ross, but it's not. Badabig's giving this slip to Arukis. Should probably be a smart decision. If you keep them side by side, it's going to cost them a lot of time through this section. Badabig can run away. Actually didn't lose too much time. They definitely lost some though. And now Taz is right on the back of this 3. Klinger's closing up. Avaxad's made his way, actually stayed in 10th on the medium tyres. Getting a little bit worn now. Probably haven't swapped over yet to what's faster, but a couple more laps, they'll get there. And he's not going to make any more progress. So it'll be interesting to see if he pits on the next lap, because I know the most common way of doing the 2-stop is 9 on the mediums, 6 on the softs, and then another 6 on the softs. What did Moose come out on? Came out on the mediums. Looks like he put in a full tank. Maybe. So he's going 6. Maybe 11 on the mediums. Be interesting, leaving himself a short, soft stint at the end. Jack's still going ahead looking on fuel. Auto's used a lot more fuel than Jack. And Harry. Astro used a bit more than the Citroens. And then we've got Badabig. Has he broken that gap behind? Gives a bit of a longer shot so we can see. Not quite. Especially with Ross and Arukis working together, they're going to close that really quickly. Not close enough for Arukis to go for a move. Taz looks like he's defending from Kling behind. Managed to get to the inside, gets it stopped. So this is a nice 5-way fight continuing for P5 for the moment. You can just see the understeer kicking in. The tyre is getting close to halfway worn. And the hards will start to feel a lot worse, even then. They feel bad when they're fresh, they feel even worse once they drop below 50%. Basically the same for all of these cars, they're kind of in the same boat. Slightly worse for Klinger, who's going to the outside of Taz. Or is he? Not quite. Pulls in behind, gets a good exit. Pulls out, is he going to get slipstream from the cars ahead? Probably will. Is he going to cover off the inside? Is he going to be able to cover off the inside? Yeah, immediately covers off the inside. As long as he doesn't outbrake himself. And he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't. Nice move there from Klinger up into P8. And I think we just had a move there from... I think we just had a move there from Ross on Arukis in the dock section. Does Arukis go wide? No, actually, he goes super tight. Maybe he gets held up somewhere? Or has a big slide. Oh, yeah, big slide. 2 big slides. That's 1 easy position for Ross. Don't know if Kling's going to be close enough to get this move done. No, I think smart decision there from Klinger not going for it. But Arukis into the wall again. That's cost Klinger a lot on the exit. Looks like Taz wants to work with him to get back to Arukis though. She's going to save him from losing a position at least for now. But crucially, that's allowed Badabig and Ross to get a gap. Got a couple of drivers coming in. So Jack and Harry, I'm pretty sure, are going to be on the 2-stop. Yeah, Jack short fills, Harry even less fuel. Definitely going to be a soft stint for both. And it is. They've come out in clean air, that's massive. Avaxad could be going for a few laps. They could catch him. Oh, it's actually Turbo Boy who's closest. They could catch him before he pits, possibly. So that's who came in behind. Joe's, we knew, came in early, got past. Arukis is the first of the 1-stoppers going to the end on the mediums now. So Arukis is the first driver going to the end. Auto, probably going a couple more laps on those mediums. Astro might come in this lap off the hards. Badabig the same, to be honest. Astro's tyre wear slightly worse than Badabig and Ross, so they could come in early. How's this fight looking? Primecole's now got himself into this fight. Looks like that's Pyro in 8, so Pyro's actually recovered pretty well. Stayed close to the fight for the top points paying positions, or top half of the points paying positions. I'm not sure if he's going to have slipstream on this back straight. It's going to be close. Taz definitely got it on Kling. Are they going to work together? We've got to be careful now. We're in the pit window, so some drivers will be coming in on this lap. And if you can brake a lot later into the hairpin if you're coming into the pits, then you're not having to brake for the hairpin itself. So who's coming in? Badabig? Looks like Badabig's coming up in front. Klinger's carrying on, Taz is carrying on. Look like Primecall coming in the background. Yep, so Badabig and Primecall in. A couple more, I think the Porsche drivers are in. Turbo Boy in and Afaxad in. So, crucially, that's going to give Harry and Jack free air on the soft tyres. And it's honestly a really good thing that these guys have got closer together, because if they can start giving each other slipstream and bump drafting, it's going to be a massive help for them. Pyro definitely doesn't have slipstream anymore. Taz and Klinger, I think these guys are going to work together. Oh, Astro's just been in the wall, he's got some damage. Ross is closing up. Auto's still out, but he's got damage as well. Damage is quite costly, a lot of fly-out sections, it hurts the top speed of the cars. Let's go back to this battle for fourth. Is Taz even interested in going for a move on Kling, or does he just want to work together? He's pulling to the outside, which is an interesting choice. Maybe trying to signal that he doesn't want to go for a move, just wants to work together. A lot of drivers have different ways of trying to do that. Some flash the hazards. Some just sort of try and do it with position of the car, like Taz maybe. But he's lost a little bit of time through that section. He's still close enough to get slipstream, so it's not a concern yet. Jack and Harry are going to be hoping that Pyro is coming in this lap to get out of the way, because if they get held up in the last section of the track, it's going to cost them a lot, because that's where the soft tyres are really going to give you the performance. Okay, so Auto is in. Astro, he's coming in. Ross, he's following him in as well on the same strategy. Ross looked like he was going a little bit wide there. Kling's in, Taz is in, Pyro's in as well. It's great news for Jack. Everybody's pit stop has kind of worked out perfectly for both of the Citroens. Clean out all the way. Thing is though, when they pit, they're gonna have to do some overtaking. Musa retakes the lead, but he has got to pit again. Those tyres will not make it to the end. Then Arfak's going for the two-stop as well. But you can see how much time he's behind the Citroens who are on the same strategy. He's going to have a lot of work to do on his second set of softs to close that gap when he does pit. So Otto, the lead driver, going to the end. Comes out just in front of Arukis, but he's on the hard tyres. Arukis has got the medium tyres. Same as Badabig, everybody else. I'm assuming he's going to be going to the end. Ross having a battle with Astro. Gets to the inside, comes out ahead. Astro's put more fuel in, so that might be how Ross has jumped him in the pits. And they're still fighting. Surely his teammates should be working together now, because Prime Cole's right behind them. They're still going side by side. Ross looks like he's managed to get this. Astro should be able to hold this around the outside of Prime Cole. And he does. So stay 9th and 10th in that order. Ross ahead, Astro behind. So the net front of the grid is pretty spaced out. Nobody looks like they're going for a move, so we're going to stick with this battle. If they're actually, see if they're actually going to work together. They're sure they're going to work together in this part of the tunnel. You don't want to be going for a move here on your teammate. Although Astro looked like he got compromised a bit, and that's why Prime calls to come at him. Looks like he's going to be able to hold it. Although he's a little bit wide, is that going to let Prime Cole to get the switch back? Not quite, and Astro's still going to be getting the slipstream from Ross, so he should be able to hold this pretty easily. And I think they're going to need to work together to close the gaps to the cars ahead. Taz looks like he's just made a mistake, so he's dropping back to them, but Badabig's probably been the fastest driver so far in this feature race. So they really could do with working together to try and close him down instead of fighting each other. Ooh, Ross is a little bit wide. Astro's going to go for the move. Is Ross just going to pull him behind and work together? Please, somebody tell them. If there was ever a track you wanted to work together on, this is it. Okay, he's not going for a move. That's good. It's progress. We can see Taz up ahead. He's just made a mistake. He's just dropped back a lot to you. Oh, that's a big hit from Ross. Didn't get damage. Cost him a lot of time though. Still in slipstream. Okay, looks like things are kicking off ahead. Whoa, things have kicked off a lot ahead. How did this happen? So, Rukis and Badabig have closed in the gap to Auto on the hard tyres, unsurprisingly. Rukis gets sent to the outside into the dock section. Is he going to try and go all the way around the outside, or is he going to go for a switchback? Tries to go around the outside, then go for a switchback. Gets side by side. Doesn't quite get in there. They're 3 wide coming up to this corner. How does Badabig come out of this ahead? Just sends it around the outside. Great move from Badabig. Gets a great run as well. It's not going to be enough to keep him ahead of the Viper, or safe from the Viper at least. But one good defense into the hairpin, and Badabig's got this, because he'll be able to pull away in the last section on his medium tyres. Also being forced to the outside. Badabig covers off the inside. Rukis is going for it, and he has. Oh, but he's way too late. Way too late. Oh, he gets a bit of contact from Taz, but he holds that position, and Badabig is in 5th. So Badabig's the net race leader, and he's now got a gap to Rukis on the same strategy. If Badabig can break the slipstream, this is his race to lose. And he's pulled a lot of that gap already. Probably not quite enough, but that is close. Rukis is going to need to get back to Auto ASAP and get this move done if he wants to have a fight for this. And we've got a fight in behind again. Oh, what has gone on here? Oh, Astro's got damage. Probably out of the last corner, I would guess. Yeah, it must be on that side to damage the right-hand side. But he's not good, because now Ross has not got his teammate to work with. He's got Prime Call behind him looking for a move. Rukis is immediately back on to Auto. But he's just getting to see how much he's getting held up in this tight, twisty section. Almost pushing Auto out of the way. Looks like he got a better exit. Is he going to try and do what Badabig did? It's a wall of death around the outside. Looks like he's managed it. Taz is actually choosing to bump Auto. I would have thought he'd have maybe pulled in behind a Rukis. But same thing for a Rukis. Rukis has got to hold on to this. Just fully inside for the hairpin. Ooh, a little bit of movement there. Late movement from Rukis, unsettled Auto. But he managed to hold it, crucially. Okay, so what's the gap? Not too big. Badabig's tyres are looking in a lot better condition though. Going to take a lot of work to cut that gap in. Oh, more worn tyres. Auto's going to be holding up Taz. It's going to allow Ross and company to come a lot closer to him. Astro looks like he's got that move done behind. And he has. So, now the Jaguars back together again. Although that doesn't really mean anything because we haven't seen them work that well together. Harry ball job on this lap. I'm coming for you, Harry. What's going on? Tyres aren't looking in too bad a shape. Are you going to run out of fuel? Well, I mean, if Jack's done it right, you have definitely done it wrong. I can tell you that. He's looking close. I mean, it's only at the end of this straight. He's not going to go back to the start line, but that... Yeah, he's already short shifted massively already. How early is he going to run out of fuel? Jack's got plenty. Yeah, well, I did notice that. Oh, now he's run out? No? Not quite? Okay, so I think he actually barely makes it with the fuel, but he had to lose so much time on that lap. Yeah, comes in on 0. Jack, so let's see where these guys come out. Musa So he must have overfueled on his first stop. Jack coming out, he's in P6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to stop at 9? Yes, it is. But he comes out in 9th, Harry comes out in 13th. So 4 extra positions and a lot of time further behind as well. Has he got the same amount of fuel in this time? Looks pretty much the same, so I think he hasn't made the same mistake twice. And Jack has got a massive gaggle of cars in front of him. Just absolutely fighting here. So Otto is slowly slipping back on his hard tyres. Been passed by both the Jags so far. And Jack's tyres should make it fairly easily, I would say, to the end. He did 6 laps pretty comfortably. He's not in danger of getting a puncture or anything like that. So I think he's got full ability to just push, although he's sent it really late in there, make some contact with Otto on the inside. Still side by side with Arukis. Did he not do it for the last stint? Add a little bit extra. Luckily I've not made that mistake, although I can see it is very easy to do. Because normally you filter the lap because the pit lane is at the start of the track, but on this track it isn't. Be interesting to see if anybody else has forgot that. So Joe, that's late, and from the outside, that looks like an absolute... Did also get a hit from Jack, maybe? Yeah, I don't think the Citroen's going to have any problems. No, Otto just releases the brakes to try and stay ahead, but ends up taking Astro out of the equation. It's Astro who gets pushed out of the way. So it cost Otto a lot, it cost Astro a lot. Jack is already up into P5, which is great for him on the soft tyres. And he's going to go for a move immediately on Ross. Not quite. I'm going to say risky to go for a move there. You kind of need to be alongside already. It's not out of the question Jack fights for the win here. The lead is not that far ahead. Jack trying to force his way to the inside of Ross. Ross not having any of it at all. Just going to have to follow for now. But he's got a good overtaking opportunity coming up into the dock section. Up, he gets a much better run. He's already to the outside. Is he through? He's just got ahead now. If he can get to the inside and cover this off, the move is done. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Very late on the brakes, just manages to cut Ross off at the apex. He's up into 4th place. Ooh, slightly into the wall. Got a bit of free air to make up to Taz. How is Arukis doing with the gap to Badabig? Looks fairly similar. 58.5s, 58.4, yeah, they're doing basically the same laps. Tyre wear's equalled out a little bit more. So Badabig's pretty close to Arukis' tyre wear. Taz has got way more though, way more tyre wear. Yeah. You definitely don't. So, the Jaguars back together again. I'm sure they're about to start fighting instead of working together. Ironically, this would be the time to fight each other because it's only 4 laps to the end. It'd be funny if they just started working together for no reason now. So, Prime Call, who managed to gain that position from Otto going wide at the hairpin. Klinger was closer to the battle ahead of him than he was in this one. Harry's made his move on Turbo Boy. Pyro, again, Pyro was close. Maybe they used more fuel and had to put more fuel in. Musa, 2-stop hasn't really worked out for him because he started on pole, he's down into 13th. 2-stop also hasn't really worked out for Arfaxad. Just couldn't make enough progress early on. when he was on his medium stint against the hards. Jack now into the slipstream of Taz. He's in the slipstream, but he's not going to be close enough to send it. And it looks like behind the Jags might actually be working together, which is just hilarious. And now you pick now is the time to work together. Ooh, Jack thinking about a move to the inside. He's going for some bold moves in unorthodox places. But I know that I'm pretty sure this move is in the steward's room. So we're going to watch this from the outside camera for now. Pulls alongside. He goes a little bit wide. Taz did get damage from that. Let's go back. We'll have one more on board with Jack. How far alongside does he get? Halfway? He's pretty much fully alongside. But he has sort of a weird switch on the inside. Don't know if the rear steps out maybe, because he was turning it quite tight. But he was far enough alongside to be entitled to room. And I'm pretty sure he did lift to make the inside. Be interesting to see. I know that ended up in the steward's room. So you need to look at kind of a slower, more frame by frame of it to properly make a judgment. Yeah, because this is Ross's replay as well. So I have seen both points of view of this, and there is no contact on Jack's replay, but I'm pretty sure there is contact on Taz's replay. There's possibly some netcode involved. Crucially, it's Taz who lost technically 2 positions because he lost a position to Jack. I also lost a position to Ross, who's having a look back at Jack. How are we doing out front? Badabig still holding that gap. Tyres basically even. Jack, if he can get a good run through this corner, should be safe from Ross behind. He's still got the better tyres, although he is a little bit wide. Although Ross didn't look like he used all the space he could have there, so maybe didn't get the best exit. And Jack looks like he's got a much better one. Yeah, Jack is gone from Ross. Still got a chance of getting a P2. P1 might be a bit of an ask. Just because Jack's tyres are going to go off. They're not going to die, but they are going to go off on the last lap. 2 Jaguars together again. Taz looks like he's lost that position to Astro. How are their tyres looking? He's still got the better tyres, so he could definitely fight this back. And let's see, we've got a Harry appearing in 8th, so he's recovered it pretty well considering he was 13th. He's made a lot of moves. Got past Auto on the hard tyres. But Kling's mediums are starting to give up, although they're actually worse than Turbos. Moose has managed to get past Pyro, so this is really not going well for Pyro. And Arpax's definitely going to be close enough to go for a move at some point in the last 2 laps. 100%. Badabig with 2 laps. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, I think he's got this. Rukis is definitely going to come under threat for P2 in this. Just closing in, it looks like Astro. Somebody just made a mistake there, I think. Yeah, Taz was just ahead. Astro sends it to the inside. Goes a little bit wide, but he did leave room on the exit. Let's have a look. Makes it and there's room. It doesn't make the apex though. It does leave room on the exit. We've got another one that could possibly end up in the steward's room potentially. depending on what the drivers were feeling like in the moments after, because it's costing the position to prime call as well. So definitely a lot of incidents from this race. Jack still pulled away from Ross, close to the back of Arukis. Oh, Ross gets a half-second penalty through the dock section. Might have just enough of a gap to hold that into turn 1, if it stays as it is. And then we've got Harry going to be closing in really quickly on the soft tyres on the back of this group as well. Let's drop back to this little fight, although these guys kind of spread out a little bit as well. So any fights going on behind. Turboboy's close, halfback side is right onto that. Oh, Moose has made a mistake. Oh, and another mistake. Into the wall there. Must have made a couple of mistakes. Where was it? Down in the dock section, or is he just coming under threat from Pyro? No, he's not. So what happens here? Does he just outbrake himself? Oh yeah, big time. Massively outbraked himself. Must just been a lapse of concentration there. But that promotes Pyro up a position. It's not going to do his tyres any good because they might be struggling by the end of the lap. So, where do we think the battle is going to be coming from? Let's go on board with Astro. Okay, Astro has closed that gap. That is definitely going to give him the position to his teammate if he can stay there. Now the tyres basically even between the cars, slightly worse for Astro, but relatively insignificant amount. Got Prime Cole's just dropped off a bit behind, which is good news for Ross because that's probably only going to lose in the one position this penalty. We'll also have to keep an eye on fuels to the line, just to see if anybody's under fueled. Oh, Jack's got super close to Arukis through that last section. Astro did... Actually, Astro choosing to bump his teammate. Again, why? This is just a random time to decide to start working together for Team Jaguar. So, Jack just getting a much better exit out of the last corner. Starts the final lap side by side with Arukis. Tries to go all the way around the outside. Just enough space left, and Jack's got the inside line for the... Ooh, but Arukis is able to get ahead and cover it off. That is massive because it's going to force Jack around the outside. And his tyres are going to be giving up now as well. Still going to be better than the mediums. Oh, a little bit of contact. Jack's still trying to hold it around the outside. Just falls back into line now though. And I'm pretty sure that what I know is coming next. So Ross managed to stay 4th. Badabig's got this one on lock if he just doesn't make any mistakes. Tyres should be fine. Jack, we're going to go on board with Jack because I know what's coming. So Jack gets the run again, pulls to the inside. A little bit wider. He's almost just as far across. It's weird. I mean, it's not a place to go for a move, really. You can, technically. You can go for a move anywhere, as long as you make it work. Let's go on board with Arukis as well. Because Jack has to, the thing is, Jack has to turn in late, because he's on the inside line. If he turns in when Arukis turns in, he goes into the wall on the inside, and he dies. So it's kind of hard to call. Do you put it on... Do you mean it's Jack who's going for the move? So technically, does it go on Jack? For being I guess a poor place to decide to go for a move? How are we looking for fuel? Jack's looking a bit low. So is Ross. Well, we're going to go on board with Badabig. Didn't need to work with anyone in this race, just pushed his way through. got to the front with pure pace, held the lead, and he gets, I think, the first, it must be his first win of the season, because it was a double win for Harry last time. Jack provisionally in second place. Got rookies coming across for the podium. Ross in fourth, Astro in fifth. Prime Call, Taz. Harry didn't manage to make any more progress from eighth. Then we've got Kling in 10th, Turbo Boy 11th, Arpaxad managed to get past Pyro in 13th, and then Musa is just driving around a pause, which explains why he's dropped back so much. I mean, he did turn in too early, but he's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's what would be interesting to see what the stewards say on both. Let's quickly go and have a look, because I think... Are they out yet? They're not out yet by the looks of it. So, we're going to have a look at the standings before the stewards' results are out. How does that shake everything up? Standings... Here we go. Tier 2. Where are we? There we go. So, Badabig takes the lead of the championship. Makes sense after a good round, second and first in this one. 63 points gives him a 9-point lead over Harry, who holds on to second. Astro in third. Tied on, actually, Astro and Arukis tied for points. Tied on third. Arukis would technically be ahead because of his win. Jack currently up in fifth, but there's a couple of incidents in the stewards' room to keep an eye out for. Ross in sixth, Otto in seventh, Taz eighth, Pyro still in ninth. Got 22 points. Which might actually, I think someone said it's actually already better than what he scored last season. Possibly, in 2 rounds. So going much better this season. Got Prime, actually timed with Prime Call for 10th as well. How we're looking in the Constructors? Pretty close. Citroen lead on 100. Jaguar only 2 points behind. McLaren 25 points off the lead. And then Renault in fourth, 37 points off the lead. Who is Badabig's teammate? Does he have a teammate? I don't think he's raced. Oh, I think he teamed up with Misha, possibly. I know has missed both of these rounds. So if they do come back, he's got a chance to get himself really into the Constructors' Championship fight. But yeah, that's how we leave it after the second round. Keep an eye out in the Discord for the stewards' results, because I think they're going to be out relatively soon. Probably next couple of days is usually when they come out. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. I will be back next week for, what was it, Watkins Glen. Should be another very interesting race. Same time, same day, probably. I will see you all next week.